Resurrection Fest for 2026 has officially dropped its lineup. It's occurring in Spain over July 1st through the 4th of next year, and it's an interesting lineup to say the least. I know a lot of these overseas lineups, I'm not real familiar with most of the bands that are on the lineup, but they do a great job of honestly promoting a lot of these smaller bands and giving them a chance to shine. Obviously, looking at the headliners, that is something to I guess wish. I don't know anybody who would honestly draw all those headliners up and pick them, but let's get into it for a second now, shall we? Now, personally, I don't really see how any of these bands quite go together genre or stylistically, like Sabaton and A Day to Remember or Limp Bizkit and Trivium. But honestly, that's what makes all these festivals fun. So Wednesday you have Sabaton, A Day to Remember, Throne, President, Man with a Mission, and Anosuke, and that is the main stage, I presume, based on the way this graphic is set up. It looks like they have the main stage and then a Ritual, Chaos, and Desert stage. So 4 total stages. It looks like the main stage will be the obvious feature stage, and then the other 3 stages look pretty even. It doesn't look like there's anything separating them. So honestly, a lot of the bands on the Ritual stage, the Chaos stage, and the Desert stage, I honestly have never heard of. There are bands like Blood Incantation that are obviously like blowing up lately that I have heard of. I've heard of the Funeral Portrait, Dogma, the Pretty Wild, the Browning, the Callous Cowboys, but when it comes to everything else on this graphic, I've never even heard of them or read their name before. So I'm basically just going to look at the headlining main stages. Wednesday, it's kind of weird to me that this is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday instead of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday like it is here in the US. Let me know if you're overseas, if that is like a certain reason, the way they structured that. I'd be kind of curious to know the logistics behind that. But anyways, the first day, like I said, none of these bands really go together stylistically. President is drawing a huge crowd, at least online, so we'll see how they do live. They also haven't released any music, like an album or anything like that, so we're kind of waiting to see what they're doing for music. A Day to Remember, I saw them this year, and they're such a fun act to see live. Sabaton should be good as well, but honestly, seeing them and like banking on them to end your day is just something I wouldn't be interested in. Then you have Iron Maiden, Anthrax, and then 2 bands I've never heard of. It looks like Angels, Apart True, and some foreign name I can never have a chance of pronouncing. And Caskets, I've heard of Caskets before. But anyway, it's 2 really old staple bands with Iron Maiden and Anthrax. Not my jam, but you know, everybody needs to see them at least once in their life. My question is, Limp Bizkit is a great get here for Friday. It's going to be a great time. But how do you have Trivium up that high, comparing them to bands like Anthrax, Mastodon, and Day to Remember? I just don't think Trivium's that big, are they? I guess I don't know. Bleed From Within is also quite a smaller band who is recently starting to blow up. And then all the other bands I haven't heard of, but Limp Bizkit should be a great time. And then you go to Saturday, and you have the last day, Marilyn Manson headlining. And honestly, it's just like downhill from there. This is kind of like the most disappointing lineup I've seen all year. Honestly, I wasn't going to probably attend anyway since it's halfway across the world. But looking at this lineup, I don't see how anyone would want to attend this festival unless they are living really close. But no interest from me. Resurrection Fest, and just briefly looking at last year's lineup, I would definitely prefer last year's lineup over this one. This is, for me, the worst lineup I've seen for 2026, but that's just my opinion. Let me know if you plan on going or what past festivals have been like. I would really love to know. So I appreciate you for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next one.